Hello and welcome to the Empowered by Design podcast. We are continuing our love journey series, our card pull series, and today we will be talking about the empty room. The empty room. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Liz. I am your host of the Empowered by Design podcast. I am so excited to be here today. We are continuing our Love Journey series on season 8 of the podcast. Season 8 is well underway, and we, in the very first episode of season 8 on 808, we drew 8 cards from my favorite deck. Where is that? Right here. The Wild Unknown Archetypes deck and guidebook by Kim Krans. My very, very ever first Oracle card deck that found me when I was in Los Angeles a couple of years ago. And what I love about the Archetypes deck is, well, so many things, but what archetypes are these people, places, tools, concepts that are archetypes that transcend time, space, culture, and have meaning inherent in themselves. And then when we draw them, we make meaning of them in our lives. And so I'm very excited. We are on this number 6. Yes, card 6, the empty room. And I'm just going to say right now, I voice messaged my friend Angie this morning, and I was like, I have to record a podcast episode, but in the car, my nail chipped, so my nails look like trash. So if you see them on YouTube, or if they make it to the reel or TikTok, then you already know they look like trash. I wasn't going to record it, but then I thought, you know what? Sometimes our nails chip and we have to go on. Life has to go on. Let's talk about the empty room. This is card number 42. And I invite you to look at the card if you're watching. If not, I will explain it to you the way that it is pictured. So as you look at the card, it is mostly black and white. So a black room, but it has a cloudy essence around it with some shiny, sparkly, what look like stars or diamonds on the card. There's some gray and whites in there, and some blues and purples, a little bit of red here and there on the card, and it looks like an empty room. So you're walking into this empty room that kind of looks like 3-dimensional on the card. And what associations, what meaning do you make of the empty room? The empty room. Nothing's in it. Space, time, possibility, opportunity, solace, time for quiet, stillness. Is it scary? Is it comfortable? Do you love sitting in an empty room? Would you feel unsettled sitting in an empty room or being in an empty room? You don't necessarily have to sit, but being in an empty room. When we look at the empty room in the order of how our archetype cards, our 8 cards for this season, have come, we had card number 1 was Eros, erotic love. Number 2, the crone. Number 3, the judge. Number 4, the pilgrim. Number 5, the tear or tear, but we talked about it mostly as the tear. And now the empty room. For me, I remember thinking like, ooh, that's going to be fun when we get to that one, to see what's going on in life, what meaning we've made of the cards that were drawn before, and knowing that we were stretching those 8 cards out across the season for season 8, I was loving to be anticipatory of what's going to be happening. When are we going to be talking about the empty room? And so if you listened to last week's episode, it was not about one of the love journey cards, but it was definitely about this invitation for rest and stillness and finding gratitude within the stillness. And here we have the empty room, which is partly an invitation to be with yourself, with your being, with your space, with your time, with your values, with your goals, with your vision, and really understanding, where do you put yourself on your list of priorities? Are you an afterthought? Do you get attention from your own self when everything else is taken care of, when your list is crossed off, when dinner is made, when the job tasks are taken care of? And then is it time for you? Or are you someone who prioritizes your care, your nurturing of your body, of your mind, of your heart, of your soul, and of your spirit? Do you start your day off with a little bit of time in meditation or movement or reflection or journaling for you? Starting my day off with time in not so much an empty room. I call it the meditation space, but it's only me in there, me and some other, there's some furniture. It's not quite empty, but it is a time for reflection and time to spend with me, my thoughts, my spiritual journey. And in that, I remember as I was reading one of my daily meditations, I read from this book last time as well, that I remember thinking, ooh, when I do the empty room card, I'm going to talk about this as well. So this was entry number 248, receptivity, and I'm going to read it for you. This is from Tao 365. I want to make myself an empty room, quiet, whitewashed walls with slant sunshine and a fresh breeze through open windows. Some days are extremely fluid, and all possible courses of action are equally attractive. Rather than do something arbitrary, it is far better to empty oneself completely. Then the more subtle currents of life may be felt. One should avoid the mistake of random action. Arbitrary action will most likely be out of accord with the times. It is artificial, a structure that we impose from our own thought. Such movements are invariably stilted and wooden. They do not have the fresh perfection of the natural. We do not have enough peace, yet peace will never be attained by perpetual action. Stirred water never has the chance to settle clear. A tree buffeted by winds can never grow straight. Give up all unnecessary activity. Give up all arbitrary actions. Make yourself receptive. The peace that you seek shall be quickly at hand. Woo! I love that. Give up all unnecessary activity. In this time of, when I'm recording this, it is November, a little bit past mid-November. Again, we're coming into a very busy, hectic season. We just did our illumination circle this past weekend for balance and peace and joy. It was so lovely. We had sound bowl healing by our circle friend Lisa, and just an amazing collection of love and gratitude and joy and learning and sharing and giving and receiving in our circles. peace. We are looking for peace. We are wanting peace. And it can be elusive. And so the invitation is to be receptive, to quiet your actions and behaviors and be still in this time, to be receptive to what is coming. When we are still, when we are open to the emptiness. Ooh, that can be scary at times, but the more we practice it, the more it can come to us in a more authentic way. So I invite you to reflect on this card, this archetype of the empty room. Take that breath, check in with yourself, body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. And we will read from the book that goes with the card. Again, this is number 42. What does that number mean to you? What meaning does that hold? 42, the empty room. The vortex, the abyss, the nothing. The empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of the craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential. Yet, we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness. Be with the impatience. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you are doing. If you can settle in to the magic of emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. So many things in there were resonating for me. Let's take a pause. Let's take a breath. And what jumps out at you? What jumps out at you in this message of the empty room, of potential and lack mindset that we want to fill up, especially at this time of year as we're going in to the season of holidays and celebrations and spending and giving and spending and eating and drinking and filling up with stuff, right? Filling our carts, whether they're physical or virtual. I know my kids are sending me already links for their gifts, and I'm like, okay, balance. Trying to set boundaries. I'm like, please don't send me links while I'm at work. They just distract me. Wait till I'm home. But we love to give, right? We love giving. We love giving. And at the circle, one of the things that came in a message this past weekend, and I'll share it with you, was we are more than what we give. Yes, give generously, give with love and affection, and know that there are other ways to give of ourselves and our love than giving material things, right? Sit with the emptiness, sit with the void, sit with the impatience. That's not one of my virtues, patience. I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. Very, very, very slowly getting better at patience with the things that I want to achieve or see or manifest. But noticing how when we slow down and rest and welcome the void, welcome the time, welcome the space, allow things to settle, allow the dust, the sparkles of magic to settle. When you are in line with your goals and your values, your dreams and your vision, the empty room is spaciousness, potential, possibility. Love it. When dark, when in shadow, when you are coming from a wounded place of avoidance, fear, pain, the empty room can be addiction, insatiability, and more for more's sake. So more for the sake of more. Just grabbing and grabbing and filling and filling and filling just to fill, right? To protect us from the pain. Sometimes we fill our space with things to protect us from feeling the emptiness, the fear, and the pain that comes. I invite you to seek your support. Seek support from your system, your friends, your family, your therapist, your spiritual teachers, your guides, your leaders, your sages, and the invitation to go deeper. John Cage's 4 feet, 33 inches. Ooh, I'm going to look that one up. What does this message mean for you today? For balance, for joy, for peace. The empty room. I'm excited for the possibility, for the potential, for that meaning of working towards expanding, growing in patience and waiting for the invitation. My friend Angie tells me that's what I'm to do, and I love it. I'm learning as I take these little steps and practice waiting, practice sitting with the space, with the time, with the void, with the emptiness. And knowing that by doing so, we're really tuning into the inner parts of our being, our wisdom, our inner knowing. The empty room. What does it mean for you? That's it. We're stopping. We're stopping here today. I invite you to reflect on this. I wish you a very happy holiday season. We'll be back next week for some love and gratitude. We will be back next month for a dreams illumination circle. Check that out. Hope you can come. And we will be back next week at Visionistas for Small Biz Saturday. Invite you to stop in for that as well. And I can't wait to connect with you next time. Take care.